if you're afraid, it's okay. Hold that fear and just go out there, even though it is very scary to do it first. My name is Angelina Mirabito. My age is 41 and I'm from Chelsea, which is the outer suburbs of Melbourne, more towards Frankston. I am an action artist. I've been doing art all my life, basically, and my formal studies was in creative writing and English literature, but I'd always, while I was studying, whenever I could, get a studio, make a whole heap of art, and I moved around a lot, so I'd have to dispose of it basically and then get on with the studies, and then so constantly making art. It's just something that I've always done, and then in the past recent years I've started to exhibit and make my artwork available for sale, and writing has taken a back step in my life. My life experiences have tended to change the materials that I use, the process itself, as well as what it is that I'm trying to communicate. Like my formal studies was in writing, so I articulated and expressed myself quite differently. But now I'm at a point where the challenge for me is how do I communicate without form and without words and just have an experience transmission from one person to another. What made me choose air dry clay and mixed media is that it allows me an extreme form of texture and to come out of the canvas. And there's something very beautiful about how far you can get off the canvas, because it means whatever time of day the painting's on the wall, the light will shine on it and it will be an ever-changing, like it'll be a living canvas on your wall. And so the more it comes out, the more you're going to get that happening throughout the day in different tones of light. And I love that kind of idea of every time you come to it, you see something different, and you also as a person are different, but the lighting's different. So it's like, yeah, the idea behind it. The art world, I feel like it's such a prism. It's got so many facets and so many, I love that about it actually, but the challenge is you don't know how to read it, you don't know how to engage with it, you don't know how to become a part of it, really. What am I working on now? So this is the pieces that I'm working on now. So what I used to do was do the texture painting with thick paint with palette knives and painting on an easel on the wall. But what I do now is the texture underneath, and I let it all dry because, as I said, I'm coming out really high from the canvas. And so then I paint the rest on the floor, the top layer with the running paint, which is what we're going to do now. And it's the way that I did the Morai, which is the Fates painting, the other one. So that's the same technique and process is with what I'm doing now. I'm constantly trying new things and taken by new styles, and that is a little bit hard because I know that there's a thing where people, they stick to the same style and do the same thing, and they really grow and evolve in that way, whereas in my growth and evolution is experimentation and doing things quite differently. But I think there's always something that's a little bit similar, like texture and no form, and I really don't use paintbrushes. I had a significant functional seizure where I lost my ability to write and work in writing, and ever since that, then the artwork was all I could do. And because that's all I could do and I needed help to recover, people started seeing my art. So that's how then I started getting into oh, okay, I can exhibit, I can sell it, I can do this. But yeah, that was a real turning point for me, and I think the message that I hope can translate for other people too, because I think it's a universal thing that we have, and that is that the way that we live our life, sometimes we can feel like we're fated to the family we're born into, the circumstances we're born into, the systems, what's going on in our current times and histories, like we're fated or determined, or doesn't matter what we do, we can't we can't carve out a life for ourselves that we want to live, whereas in the whole thing is like, you can take your fate into your own hands and you can make your own choices, and then those consequences are yours, and there's a beauty in that, as opposed to just going, okay, you know, the fate's like, it's determined, it's not my responsibility, it's not my fault. Like, my life is mine. I can take the fates into my own hands, or work with fate in a way, like creatively, to get the life that you want.